Coming up on today's edition of the Art Business Morning Show, we are talking about the next big art selling holiday that is upon us. It's 30 days away. It's Mother's Day. After that comes Father's Day, and we need to be ready. So we're talking about having sales, getting ready, and the eventual march towards Q4. All right, intro music's going. And we actually got one out in the morning, so it does feel like our coffee shop vibe music is good. Nick, welcome back to the show. It's been a minute, as they say in the trades.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
So you wanted to kick off some discussion, okay, about the next big art selling holiday, and I think we should talk generally because it's important. We haven't really done this. Is fundamental to running any art or photography business is the cycle of one sale to the next sale to the next sale to the next sale. This is true year in, year out. The whole ball game is the marketing you do in between, and then getting ready for the sale and having the sale. And we talk about how so much of art or photography sales online mimics what happens offline. And this sales circuit to me is just like the art and show and fair circuit, right? You have all these things that you do to get ready, right? You book your hotel, right? And you load up the car, and you make sure your booth is good, and you make sure you have your right inserts, and your fishbowl is ready to go. And then you drive to the show, you have your big sale for the weekend, you come back, you're back to normal marketing. That's exactly what we're talking about here. From sale to sale to sale, we have marketing in between, and then we get going into sale mode, and we execute on the sale and have a great one. So I think the timing is perfect.
Yeah, and so the thing is that like there are a few big art selling holidays throughout the year, right? So Valentine's Day, and then now we're getting into the spring, right? So Mother's Day, immediately followed by Father's Day. And then you could even say some people take advantage of like July 4th or Memorial Day or some of those things, depending on how they swing it, right? Because there's definitely some marketing tactical for that. And then you get right into the fourth quarter, which is the biggest art selling time of the year. So the year is officially on and popping, okay? And if you are, if you just got your business going, or you're just kind of, you're kind of dusting off the cobwebs of January and February at the beginning of the year, it's time to go. It's time to go. There's no waiting anymore. Right? So you got to get your marketing fully in gear, because in 30 days, you have to start the marketing for Mother's Day. Okay, Mother's Day is not in 30 days. The marketing for Mother's Day begins because you have to start the marketing process for that several weeks in advance in order to fully capitalize on it. But the big point, is that for those of you out there, like wondering why you're not selling more art, last year, this year, or whenever, right? If you are not taking advantage of the big art selling holidays, the time when consumers are pulling out their wallets, whether you like it or not, right? They are pulling out their wallets and they are buying gifts. They are buying things, right? If you're not taking advantage of those, that's probably the main reason why your business is not doing very well, okay? Because Pat, the people who are selling $100,000 or more a year, right? And what are they doing during these holidays? They are literally crushing these holidays, right?
Yep.
Fourth quarter, every single one of them, And part of the reason too is because you got to learn to love these times, because it gives you an excuse, a reason to go for the right hook. Do you know what I mean? To ask for the business, to have the audacity to ask for the business, and run a little bit of a discount, and it doesn't seem cheesy. It's actually kind of expected, right? You're playing the game. And even if it's just a free shipping or something special that you do, you need to add an incentive, and get with the times and get with the program, because this is what people are expecting, right? And the whole point there is like, play the game. The game is there. It's there. Play the game the right way, and you can benefit from it a lot. And so that's the big thing there, right? Is that you got to take advantage of all of these, which means you got to be, get on the ball on your marketing and all that stuff. It's also a very exciting time, because it just seems like from March going on, it's just it's a constant thing, right? You've got these times, these big art selling holidays, and then you have the times in between, and then you got another one. And so the whole point is you're building your list, you're romancing, you know what I mean? You're getting people excited about all the products you have and the things that you're doing and your subject matter and all that stuff. You're creating that connection, and then boom, you're giving them an opportunity to make a purchase.
Yeah. And again, dude, it 100% of it always goes back to retail. It just always goes back to retail. I always say, right, like, what is the best way to sell art of photography? Trick question. In person, face to face, no question. No one's disputing that. You have to have a website for all the aforementioned reasons. But if you constantly put yourself in a mental model where what is the offline equivalent of what I'm attempting to do, think of the local store on Main Street, or think of the store in your town, okay? Or think of the grocery store. When I drive to the grocery store and there's a giant pop-up tent in the parking lot because it's Mother's Day and everyone's buying flowers, right? Like, it's all the same. It's all the same, right? Like, if you had a local store on Main Street and Mother's Day was coming, you'd pull your team together and say, what are we doing for Mother's Day this year? Okay, who's the guy that's going to paint the window, right? What's going to change in the window display? What is the percentage off going to be? Is there going to be a buy one, get one free? Is there going to be some sort of special deal for moms, right? Like, instruct all the sales staff on what items you're going to be featuring. It's no different. It's no different. This is the way it's always been done. So, you know, one, you need to do it. You need to get good at doing it. And so few people are good at running sales, that understand the full mechanics of running the sale. And even the ones that do understand the full mechanics, Art Storefronts customers talking to you, you need to practice this again and again and again and again. It is the fundamental marketing muscle you need to develop, okay, that you are going to be leveraging from now until for the rest of your life, is how to properly run and execute a sale. And so what do we always hear? It's like, oh, Mother's Day, that's not a big holiday for me, right? Like, you know, none of my art really features for Mother. I don't care if you think it features for Mother's Day or not. You need to exercise this muscle, okay? You need to understand the mechanics of a sale. How do you warm up the audience? How do you tease the sale? What are the dates that you do that? When do you need to start thinking about and planning and doing this? It's 30 days away. When will it start? When will the offer drop? What does the scarcity look like? What is the discount, the incentive, the scarcity look like? Do you follow up with the customers midstream? What does that look like? And how does it end? And let me tell you, all of that, it is a lot, especially for people that are brand new. You used to be selling offline. That was working great. You've now accepted the digital reality that we live in. We're in the middle of a pandemic and those offline sources are not coming back. Well, guess what? You have to exercise these muscles. Okay. And, you know, it's an opportunity, you know, like, let's say you're running a marathon at the end of the year, right? Like, this is an opportunity to go do a local 5K, and they don't come up all the time. But when they do, you want to go and run those smaller races so you can get ready for the big one, right? What is the big one, Nick? What's the big one? Q4. Okay.
Q4.
So here's an opportunity to go run a 3K or a 5K. Okay. Put on your bib, go run the track, see what it feels like, get comfortable with all of it. And then when the marathon does come, you're ready to go. And so who's going to have the bigger Q4? The one that did 6 or 7 races during the year, the one that did none, because you're sitting there telling yourself Mother's Day is not for you. I'm not tolerating it. Okay. I'm not tolerating it.
Yeah. And also, I mean, like, the thing with the Mother's Day and the Father's Day is it's like, it has nothing to do with like the holiday in particular, right? But it's just the fact that, you know, maybe if any women, you know, that are on your list that are moms, you know, like your art, and the dad knows about it, the husband or whoever, right? Then that is the gift opportunity. And so gifts for mom, right? You're after, like, that's what you're after, you know? And so you want to be promoting the gift cards as well, because maybe the spouse doesn't know exactly what to get. So you've got the art, and then you got the gift cards. Obviously, we've got all of this, mapped out.
Where are the merch features too, right?
Yeah, well, and the thing is that the romancing. So you're doing it now, okay? So the merchandising. I was just about to talk about the merchandising. But you got to merchandise the products, right? In other words, show the actual products that you have, like all the different things throughout the period. You know, beforehand, this is part of the romancing, so that people get excited about it. Like, mom, like, I want that, I want that pillow. Those are so cool, by the way.
The point is that, like, okay, so you're an artist and you think your art doesn't apply to Mother's Day at all. Okay, well, let's get creative then. You take your style make something Mother's Day out of it. Yes, it can be cliche and can be flowers, but it could be something else. Put a pillow in the store, right? Put a Mother's Day limited edition pillow in the store, throw it in the gift shop section and see what happens. Give it a go, make it part of it, right?
And we always talk about merchandising, but I love that you just put that pillow up there because you know why? Dude, because if you look at that image as a 2D image or like just an image on a website, right? You never get it. You like there's a tote bag, right? Like I would never say like that would look great on a pillow, but it looks awesome on a pillow, you know? And the only way that anybody can see that is by you bringing the store to them, okay? By having video, going live or whatever it is, but showing the items and opening up your store online, right? You have your own art gallery store, right? But you're opening it up online and you're showing people what the actual products are. If they just go to your website, they're not going to be able to get that exact type of an experience, okay? And so that's why it's so important to do that. But the other thing too,
do you love your mom, Nick? Do you love your mom?
I love my mom.
I love my mom too. So, if you order for Mother's Day this month, not only am I going to throw in, the pillow, but I'm going to throw in an entire set of gift cards, okay? Where you can make notes to mom, you can give it to mom, like you can do whatever you can do, just practicing it, right? Practicing, it's so weird with the camera reversed, practicing like talking about it mentally and saying like, ooh, I'm going to throw in, what is it? What do these things even cost? Packet of gift cards, like $10, right?
Yeah.
$15. Like you have the opportunities to get ready to do these sales, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I think, the other point to make is it's going to be the biggest, this is going to be the biggest like Mother's Day online like ever, Yeah. So, I mean, everything has moved online basically, right? So much more of the art industry has moved online. Look at that. So there you got a mug right there. So like the timing is absolutely perfect, So another thing that we should mention as well is we are releasing version 7.0, version 7.0 of the Mother's Day marketing playbook. Pat, can you believe we're at 7.0?
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
7.0, that's 7 years, guys. So what that means is every year we are releasing a new version based on, what happened the previous year, all of the learnings, the way that the marketing game has changed, okay? And the different tactical that needs to get updated every single year in order to stay ahead, right? So last year was 6.0, this year is 7.0, and it's going to be released at the beginning of April, right when this, when all of Art Storefront's members are supposed to start their marketing. That's when we're going to be releasing that resource. So that's really exciting.
You a little phone call there? Is that your mom?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. So another big holiday coming up. Probably should spend some time talking about the mechanics of the sale. For our customers, we're definitely going to be doing that, going over the game plan, what it looks like, getting better. But don't let them go to waste. You can't let the sales opportunities go to waste. Like, we're all looking to get better at a sale. We all have our own fears and trepidations about having sales and what it all looks like. You got to just do it. You got to just ship it, right? What do we say?
Yeah, and and Pat, the thing is like, oftentimes artists and photographers are out there and they're thinking about like, is it my work? Like, why don't I have more sales, right? And they might be stuck at like $5,000 or $20,000 or $30,000 or maybe even like $70,000 a year in sales, right? And they're just wondering why they're kind of going in circles. And more often than not, when we talk to them, like we ask about these biggest art selling times, and the overwhelming answer is, oh yeah, you know what? I don't really do enough marketing at those times. I don't really capitalize on those times as much as I should. Like, yes, some of them I get sales like during like Black Friday or the Christmas season, the holiday, the Q4 season. They usually say, yeah, I might get a couple of sales there, but I really don't, execute like a full marketing plan and take full advantage of it. And so what we consistently see is that people are leaving sales on the table, at the easiest times all the way throughout the year. And so the thing that I say is like, if you're missing that, if you're making that big of a mistake, that's your problem. You've got strategic problems, more than anything else in your business. It's not about changing something on your website, You know, it's your next, the thing that's going to like take your business to the next level isn't some small little thing like that, right? You've got a bigger thing there that if you actually solve that, that's going to be a much bigger lever.
It's coming. It's coming.
Yep.
Just shift it. It's coming. Just shift it. It's coming. I can't, you know, sometimes you gotta have a little fun with these things. Mother's Day.
So it's kind of exciting, right? So we're like, spring is right around the corner and here we go, right? It's time to start executing.
Yep. Game on. Shameless plug, if you're watching this and you would like to come to a webinar today, we have the Art Business Workshop running at 11 a.m. PST, 1 p.m. CST, 2 p.m. Eastern. You can come on a free Zoom session, get some consulting. Where are you in your business? What are you struggling with? Let's discuss. I've been having a lot of fun in these sessions lately, so I've been plugging them a little more. What do you have in terms of announcements? Do we have any new features to announce, by the way?
We have a lot of new features. We have a lot of things that just came out and a lot of things coming down the pipe. And you know, specifically, I think just talking about like the art calendars, some of the new merch products that we've released, art calendars. These are amazing. Okay, they're print on demand.
I've got one.
They're dynamically created. Yeah. Pull one of those out.
Explain the dynamically created, because that's not obvious.
Yeah. So what dynamically created means that okay. So there's a lot of options that you have with this, but I will just say it, you know, from a high level to give you an idea. So let's say somebody is on your site looking at that image, that patch. Just show them that image right there. Okay. They happen to be looking at any of these individual images. They can buy a calendar with that image on the front. Okay. So like it's the cover of the calendar, and then the software will automatically generate the rest of the calendar based on some criteria that you specify. It could be your best sellers. It could be other images in the category. And so the big point there is that rather than having one calendar that just has whatever images you want, and then you have to buy inventory of them and hold them and all that stuff, and it might not even contain the images that the consumer actually wants. The consumer instead has the option to build a calendar with the images that they want, right? So anytime they're looking at an image in your store, they will be able to buy a calendar with that image in it and related images, okay? And that's where you have some customization and control. So those are really cool. And the thing I love about those calendars right there is that is the paper. Pat, that paper is a thick fine art paper. It's like a 280 gram, you know, like kind of it's like I wouldn't call it a cold press fine art paper. Yeah, it's a thick. It is not one of those thin little glossy paper, you know, calendars. This is a thicker art paper. So it has more of a fine art feel to it. So it's like a fine art calendar. So we've got those. Yeah. And then the art puzzles. I don't know. Do you have a puzzle there or do you not? Those are really new.
Come on.
Yeah. So the art puzzles are great too, because
what are you taking me for?
Oh, I love it. I love it. Show the front cover if you can. Yeah. So the thing I love about the puzzles is that some people, you know, think like, hey, with merchandise items, their mind immediately goes to mugs, right? And like iPhone cases and items that are a little bit on the lower end side. Puzzles, you know, nice art calendars, these are on the higher end side. And the part that people have not done enough thinking on, they have not done it all, Pat, which I can't wait to get into the tactical on, is doing limited edition merch, special collector items, right? So maybe you release, you know, 10 calendars and you sign them, right? And then you release them this month and you sell them for, you know, instead of selling them for $50, which you might have on your site for a regular, you know, calendar item, you sell these for $199 or maybe $249 because they're special and you signed them. Same thing maybe with a puzzle box. There's so many things that you can do to make the items more special and less cheap. And so if you're on the higher, like if you want to do some higher end things or, you know, release some special items, you can do that and you should. And I think artists should be doing a lot more of them. a lot more like that, because the
Even
more
even
special
just
items that you create.
when you start layering it, even just talking about it like in this capacity, like no one's doing it. Like, look, not only do I have insert special image here, and I realize my green screen's making this look a little circusy, I'm sorry, but pillows, calendars, and wood prints, right? Like once we get these videos made where we're like doing the merge, you know, it'll all be proper and like, you know, angles, the lighting, everything else. Game over.
Yeah. You mean like the same ones we have for the media types right now, right? Canvas, art paper, like those things are so important because people need to be able to see what the product actually is, right?
Yeah.
Like not just a digital picture, but you know, the video, seeing it, it's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, it's a huge deal. So exciting.
All of that, yeah. So if I'll continue with the announcements. So we have theme design updates, like major theme. It's called Theme 3.0. So that's just basically the website design for the Art Storefronts members. That's actually already been released in beta privately. Some of the customers are already using it. It's doing extremely well. But we have many more updates that are coming on that for the next probably 3 to 6 months, you know, and I know that you're a part of that as well. So it's just major design quality updates and some functionality updates in order to improve conversion rates. I mean, are you not excited about some of those features? Because I know you've been chomping at the bit to release those.
Yeah, we're going on a you know, a full feature blitz right now, which is just exciting, period. And look, the writing's on the wall. Digital is the deal now. Digital is the deal for the foreseeable future. So, you know, more revenue opportunities. Like, say one thing: you don't necessarily need to buy into our shtick, but you have to give us points for consistency. Because what have we been talking about? Additional revenue opportunities. What have I been talking about? The most difficult thing to get his attention. If the most difficult thing to get his attention, what do you want to be doing? Getting better at getting the attention of the attention you do have, getting more revenue out of the attention you do have. And so the suite of features that we are contemplating right now, the updates, the various different products, so much of it is going to be, how do you get more out of the attention you do have? How do you increase your AOV, your average order value? And again, let's just bookend this baby together. When you walk into a retail store, okay, do you think the overall health of that business is based on how many products it has on the shelf? Not in every case, but in a lot, yes, it does, right? And so if I walk into your store, Nick, and the only thing you have in your store is a couple of originals and a couple of prints, that's fine. That's an art gallery. But if I walk into your store and now I walk in and I see an art gallery, and then I see a whole nother room that's a gift shop attached to the art gallery, I might not have the money at that point in time to buy your $1,500 original. But guess what? I might leave with some merch, right? So getting more attention, or getting more out of the attention that you do have, right? Like, we live, and I've been saying this a bunch, but I really like the quote. This guy came up with this in the 70s, by the way. He said, when information is in abundance, attention is the scarce resource. Guy said that in the 70s. He'd turn it over in his grave right now. I forget what his name is. So think of the store analogy, the retail store analogy. Everything that we're doing digitally, we're just taking the lessons learned from years of retail in person and making it happen digitally. If I walk into your store and the average price point in your store starts at $750 or $500 or $1,000 or $1,500, wherever your price points start at, not everyone is ready to make those purchases every day, right? Like, this is the analogy that I give all the time, and it infuriates me that I'm constantly taking it back to Facebook ads. In fact, one of the recent iTunes reviews was, "Stop being so damn negative." That's what she said to me. I only have one negative title. I don't know where that's coming from. But what everyone thinks, okay, what everyone thinks, and I want to turn this to Facebook ads, is you're going to run some Facebook ads, right? And your creative is going to hit 1,000 people. What the artist thinks in their mind is, out of that 1,000 people, there are hundreds in there that have their hand up that says, "I'm ready to buy art from you right now, Nick. You just ran an ad. I'm ready. My hand's up. I'm ready to buy art." Once you do something like this and you realize, do you know how many people out of 1,000 have their hands up? One, maybe one, that's got their hand up and that's ready to buy your art right now. So that, and let's take it to the retail. So that's what it looks like when you advertise on Facebook, which is By the way, don't go after cold traffic on Facebook. Okay, it's nonsense. I don't care what your targeting is. But when you think about the retail store, not everybody that walks into that retail store, okay, not everyone that you attract is ready to buy an original, is ready to buy a commission, is ready to buy a print. So when you have these other items, Nick might walk into my store and he's not willing to spend $2,500. But guess what? Mother's Day is coming up and you got something cool in the store for Mother's Day that's 50, 60 bucks. Well, guess what? He might pull the trigger. And guess what else, Nick? There's more good news. Do you know what the easiest return customer to get? The customer you already have.
Yep. Well, in retail, there's a metric that they have called revenue per square foot. Yep. Okay. And it's a very big deal. It's a very big deal. This ties into exactly what you said. So the ones who are very keen on it are like the supermarkets. You notice when you go to the supermarkets, like sometimes they'll have like the coin machine where you can bring your spare change and it'll do that for you. Or like those little things.
I got DMV registration machines in my supermarket.
Yeah. So all of that is all about revenue per square foot. And I know people in this business and they're like, if you're going to take a square in my store, like you need to come, like when you're actually trying to sell them that machine, you need to tell them like, here's the revenue per square foot you're going to get, because that is like prime real estate for them. And so from a digital perspective, with your own art gallery, if you're thinking that way, right? Like if you're adding these different items, all you're doing is you're increasing your revenue per visitor, capability, right? Because it's the same thing. The space is virtual. It's online. So everyone wants to throw all these regular rules out, but you can't. You've got to think like the regular art gallery business. Okay. Right? Like you've got it. You're not paying rent on it, right? You're not paying rent on the internet for the extra gift shop. So what are you worried about? Have the gift shop. I don't care if you're super high end, sign and number these things and make them limited edition. Like people say like, I don't care. I sell $20,000 originals. I'm not going to have a phone case. And I say, really? Like, okay, you don't have to. That's true. I will grant you that, right? But if you were going to have a phone case, what would you do? Probably release 10 of them for $1,000 each once a year, right? And only 10, and you sign them on the inside and they become collector's items, okay? Now that's like, and guess what? If you're that person, you'll probably sell all 10 in one day, 20 grand in your pocket, okay? And no one will care. That's not a cheap thing to do. You're not cheapening your brand. But there's ways to do the gift shop thing in a very, very high-end exclusive way, right? But revenue per square foot is the key there. And the gift shop, though, that whole thing is like art is not an impulse item, right? No. The gifts are impulse items. They can be bought right now with no, you don't need a significant other to approve the purchase. Correct. You don't need to go through, does this match everything in my house? Am I going to get it framed or not framed? All the friction that's inherent in buying art. People can buy those items on the spot. And that's why they're so interesting and like such a great addition to an art or photography business. The other thing too is that, that we'll mention about, features is that, and this is really important, the upload to print feature. The upload to print feature, which was released last year, okay? And let's explain what that is, all right? Because with Mother's Day coming up, this is quite an important feature for many people who want to use it. So we have a feature that allows our artists to launch a page on their website where their customers can come and upload their own photos, like a family photo, picture of a dog, whatever it is, and get and then have all of the media types there, right? Canvas, paper, metal, anything that the artist wants to activate, including the merch, by the way, okay? Yep. And that customer can buy a print, through the artist's print shop, and using the automated print on demand, of course, everything just gets shipped right to that customer. And so again, it's another revenue source, okay? Now, not everybody has launched that, but a lot of people have, and it works, okay? And so it's another benefit that you can add, to give to your customers who are following you. And the main argument is that you're an artist and you have done the research on where to get the best prints made, right? With the quality that is suitable for your art or photography, okay? Yep. And because you've done all that research, you've launched a print shop where people can, you know, have the peace of mind of knowing that they're not buying from some cheap online website where the, you know, or a Costco or something like that, where, you know, the print might fade in 2 years or go yellow if it gets any direct sunlight, which a lot of those products will. And I'm not calling out anybody in particular. I'm just saying, generally speaking, you know, the cheap prints that you buy online are not suitable for lasting 10 years, right? And so, and many people, when they want to buy a family photo, you know, on canvas or metal or something that's nice, they want it to last, right? They want it to last, and they're expecting it to like actually, you know, just be a decently nice piece of art that they put on the wall. And so you have the ability to do that. And Mother's Day, what better of a holiday to be kind of promoting that? And you promote that just supplementally in, you know, in our whole Mother's Day playbook. Like there's one day where people will talk about that and send an email out like, hey, you can also do this, right? Oh, and by the way, if you're one of my clients, one of my art customers, you get a special discount on this, right? You can do different tactical like that. And so with Mother's Day, you know, what are moms typically looking for? Pictures of grandkids, maybe pets, maybe old wedding photo, anything like that.
Yeah. You know, what do we always say about decisions? Our own internal framework.
Are they reversible or irreversible?
And if they are easily reversible, what do?
Then you do it right away. You ship it right away. You don't wait. You don't contemplate it. You don't complicate it. You ship it right away, which means you execute on the idea and you get it to market, okay? And you make it happen.
So, okay, if that's the framework, and you, Nick, are everyday artist out there, everyday photographer out there, if you decide to put some additional items and promote them in your store, is that a reversible decision or an irreversible decision?
Completely reversible.
Completely reversible. Can turn it on, can turn it off as quick as that, right? So think about your store. Okay. Think about the products that you have in your store, and, you know, think about the price points that you have in your store. Now, we're sitting here talking about merch. We're sitting here talking about what additional items we can come up with. I am not kidding. If a line of hot air balloons is easy for POD printing to come into line, we are going to add that in our stores because we want people to have that many different types of opportunities. But if you're not in the position where you can add merch, take a look at your price points, okay? If you don't have some lower end stuff covered, if your price points start at 4 figures, $1,000 and up, or high hundreds, you're missing, right? So there's things you can do even without adding these additional products, but adding these additional products, whatever they may be, adds more aisles to your store. It puts a gift up into your store. It gives you the ability to get some impulse buys that aren't necessarily the case, right? That aren't necessarily the case.
And you got to step back and think holistically, don't put your mind in a box about what the world has told you an art business needs to be. Step back from a 30,000 foot view and look at the whole thing and go, wait a minute, this is what I can make my art business be. I've got all these opportunities. Right. And you look at how we follow a ton of different artists and photographers, obviously, because we're advising, 45, 46, 4,700 artists and photographers right now. And Pat, it's like
we're over 5,000, dude.
We're over 5,000. All right. So, but when they're doing their regular marketing, okay, and they're, going live on social media or posting videos and doing live art shows and all the different things that we're teaching them. And they're talking about their prints and their materials and all this different stuff. What most people don't realize, or most artists don't realize, is that the consumers view you as an expert, okay? Whether you realize that or not, you are the resident expert, okay, on all of this stuff, all right? And so if you're like the local like resident expert or thought leader on these things, and all of that, what can you do to build a business around that, right? And take advantage of all of the opportunities that you can as a artist, as an art business, as somebody with specialized knowledge in a certain area, okay? And what we're obviously trying to do is to expand your mind. You may not want to do all of these things, but you should step back and have an open mind on it and look at all of it and go, wow, there's quite a bit I can do here, because all of it together actually, can result in quite a significant business, which is really exciting.
Yeah. that's what we're marching forwards. Okay, I got to get going. I got my next session, art business workshop, coming up in just a little bit, and really hope to see you guys on it. It's gonna be fun. Zoom session, link in the bio, all that jazz. Any wrap up thoughts on your part?
Nope. But everybody get on your Mother's Day, right? Get ready for the rest of the year. It's on and popping now. Mother's Day, Father's Day, all the summer, and then getting into Q4. So it's
coming.
Yep. It's time. It's, as I said earlier, dust off the cobwebs. It's time to start rocking.
Yep. Game on. Thanks for listening, guys. And
thanks, everyone.
Have a great day.